Привit moi druzy. Hello, my friends. Today I'm going to be pretty short. I've been thinking a lot about this prisoner that was shot by the Russians, and I'm going to show a little clip of what his last words were, not the shooting. A little clip of the last words, Zelensky's response, and then I want to talk about who are the good guys and how do you know who the good guys are. So let's look first at this clip here, and this is from dailymotion.com.
Slava Ukrainia. These were the last words of an unarmed Ukrainian soldier shot in cold blood after being captured by Russian troops.
Okay, let's just stop there for a second. Shot in cold blood, unarmed. All he's doing is standing there smoking a cigarette, said glory to the heroes or glory to Ukraine. And that first violates the Geneva Convention. It violates just principles of humanity. Like, he's not a threat, and yet this is what you're doing. Then, on top of that, layer on top of each of these things, that the Russians release this thinking this is a good thing to release. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself. You shouldn't be looking at this like, hey, let's pass this around, or let's pass it around to have propaganda value to show the Ukrainians this is what could happen. I don't know what their thinking is, but it's wrong on so many levels, one on top of the other. Okay, let me keep going.
According to Ukraine's foreign minister, it's further proof that this war is one of genocide.
Сьогодні з'явилося відео, як окупанти по-звірячому вбили воїна, який хоробро сказав їм у вічі «Слава Україні!». Хочу, щоб ми всі разом у єдності відповіли на його слова «Герою слава! Героям слава! Україні слава!». І ми знайдемо вбивцю.
The soldier went missing near Bakhmut on February the 3rd. The images of his execution contrast with a recent prisoner of war swap between the two combatants. 90 Russian POWs and 130 Ukrainian soldiers will be returned, but given the ongoing hostilities, it may not be long until they are back on the front lines.
Okay, so that's all I wanted to show there. Now, Zelensky is right to be incensed by this. Zelensky is right to give him praise for his last act. It reminds me of Nathan Hale's "I only have one regret, that I have but one life to lose for my country." But he wasn't even offered that much dignity. He was just shot down in cold blood. Like, so now this made me ask myself, okay, what's going through the minds of the Russians who are going to do that? And more, let's take a step beyond that. We all know people, some people that are like, well, the Russians, the Ukrainians, they're all a bunch of, the same stuff. They're all corrupt or this or that. No, there's a sizable difference. And I would challenge the person that would say that. Is this okay? And if you say that this is okay, what does that say about you? So part of the reason that I support Ukraine is not only because Ukraine's been a victim of their aggression of their neighbor, but because my principles demand that I support them because they are this victim, and I see that this is the peaceful country being invaded, and a democracy in a neighborhood that's largely authoritarian, and so my principles demand it. But what does it say about me if I don't support that? What does it say about me if I support the other side? Who am I in supporting something like that? Sometimes there's just evil that you can see, you can almost tangibly feel, and that's what we're looking in the face of. When you're talking to friends or relatives or colleagues that are pro-Russian, I would argue that this is one of the most powerful things that you can bring forward and say, look, is this good or is this evil? And if it's evil, like, which side are you on? And when they say that they do it on both sides, ask for the proof. In fact, asking for the proof is a great idea to do with everything, because I found that you can't get proof of, well, where are the neo-Nazis? I've not gotten proof yet. Well, where are the atrocities from the Ukrainians? Well, you see them in RT, but I've yet to see anything in Western media. And they won't be so foolish enough to say, well, the Western media lies and RT tells the truth. And if they do that, then it's pearls before swine, just move along. Bring something like this forward to them and ask them, what do you think is right? What do you think is fair? What do you think is just? And see how they react. All right, thank you for your time today. Sorry to bring such a terrible topic forward, but I think it needs to be discussed. And I think this is a metaphor for the whole situation of what's going on in Ukraine. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.